Alrighty, so for those of you guys that don't know, Andrew Tate did not reach the level of prominence he currently sits at completely by himself. He has basically had a little entourage of simps, of dick riders that have helped him reach the top by basically looking really stupid and dumb by comparison. And also being yes men to everything he says, right? I mean, if you want like a visual depiction of what I'm talking about here, look at Meat Canyon's video on Andrew Tate. As a matter of fact, can I show any of it? This is a completely accurate look at what Andrew Tate and his entourage are like, okay? So, and one of the people who we're going to be covering is in this video. So, yeah, you'll get an idea of what he's like.
Gentlemen, we've had success with phase 1. Expensive cars,
Vroom.
money, classic Tate W, and most importantly, women. We do be getting them bitches though.
Classic Tate W, man. You're the best. Women.
But it's time now for phase 2 of our journey. And that, gentlemen, is self-love.
Oh,
Observe closely, gentlemen. Ooh.
All right, this is about to get TOS now, so I'm gonna have to cut it off there. But I think that gives you a decent idea of is Tate British? Tate is not human. Yeah, so basically, Sneeko was the guy in the bottom left quadrant of that video we just watched there. The guy with the they all have the douchebag shaved eyebrow. That said, Sneeko tweeted something spectacular. The reason why it's so spectacular is because of the thing I'm going to finish off this little segment by showing you, okay? He tweeted this, okay? The next step of the woke agenda is adding pedophilia to LGBT. And it's a Vice News article from literally 3 years ago now. Pedophilia is a mental health issue. It's still not treated as one. And the article does not at all talk about adding pedophiles to the LGBT community. It's literally just about pedophiles being mentally ill and needing to treat said mental illness. That is what the article is about. So, of course, this is an instance of the right, or someone on the right, just basically baselessly calling the left pedophiles for no reason. We have another great one here as well. An image of just a classroom of kids holding up some pride flags they made in class, which is like, whether or not you think kids should be exposed to any political beliefs at all, I think it's important to understand that every kid is getting exposed to political beliefs from their parents or guardians, for better or for worse. And I think it would be ideal if it was like this and not God knows what parents might be teaching their kids at home. I mean, hell, remember back when the right was pushing for the young earth creationism to be taught in schools? And when the school boards were able to fight off against that, at least in most of the more left-wing states, the bluer states, the right just began gutting the school system. That became their new strategy. If you won't teach creationism and our ideas, then we'll just gut the school system. So as gutted as the school system is now, they're just going to gut the school system further if, like, they can't force their worldview to be taught to every student. Hell, I got in trouble in school when I refused to stand up and do the Pledge of Allegiance just because I didn't feel like standing up. Like, they absolutely indoctrinate you in schools, and trust me, it's not to the gay agenda or whatever. But, yeah. Now, all of this is very interesting because, you know, I often say every conservative accusation is an admission. Hypers in chat if you've heard me say that. I feel like I say it pretty often. Quite common, right? Well, I want you to keep everything Sneeko just said in mind for the next hot moment, okay? As you watch this beautiful clip.
Okay, if I ever wanted to get canceled, this is the video. I saw Cuties last night and it was pretty good. It's a pretty good movie. I went in ready to hate like everybody else. I saw the cover and I got clickbaited. So did you. You got clickbaited. This is one of the movies that's gonna age well. Like right now the outrage is really strong, so saying something like this video probably already has half dislikes. And I even tweeted like, Cuties is clickbait. This was a pretty good movie. And everybody replying like, I'm unfollowing you. This is the limit, Sneeko. This is the limit. I can guarantee you.
You see, this is when he rooted all of the non-pedophiles out of his audience. So that's why all of his fans were so ready to like jump on board with the Andrew Tate bandwagon.
None of you saw the fucking movie, dummies. How do you criticize a movie that you didn't see? What's really funny is how different the covers are for the release of the European version of Cuties and the American version of Cuties. The European version is just like a normal thing. It says mignon and just like girls playing, because to them, this is a movie about growing pains, about childhood. It's a coming of age film. But here, we only see the most provocative parts of the film. We only see the girls dressed down, we only see the twerking, and we get mad immediately. That's why the cover looks like it's a beauty pageant. I thought it was gonna be a reality show about girls dancing. It's completely the opposite. The reason that I uninstalled TikTok was because every time I'd go on, there would be a probably a 13-year-old girl dancing to WAP. There's some whores in this. The thing about Cuties.
Okay, so basically, I want to be clear here. Regardless of how you feel about, like, apparently the lady who made Cuties, like the French lady who made the movie, like, was actively trying to make a movie that would, like, call out the sexualization of young girls in our society. But, like, the way they did it was just, they did it, though. They did the thing they were criticizing. So it's just kind of, it feels so empty and hollow, right? When that's your goal and you just end up doing the thing, right? When there's so many other ways you could have gotten around it, right? Hire adult actresses to portray those scenes, or just don't show them, or I don't know. You're fucking Europeans, man. Anyway, to be clear, my point here is that Sneako is a pretty good example of what most of the right is, a good representation of what most of the right that is like super on board this trans groomer narrative, what they believe and where they're at, right? It's a lot of projection and a lot of letting slip things that if the right did, like, for example, look at child beauty pageants. Vastly a right-wing thing, okay? Child beauty pageants are all over the South, all over the right-wing states, and they are very popular. You don't really hear about them, but, like, if you grow up in the South, you go to, like, I don't know, a fucking festival, like a food festival, they're having, like, a beauty pageant there, where it's, like, 6-year-old kids. It's so fucking creepy and weird. I was 8 years old, 6 years old, 10 years old, going to these festivals and seeing it and being like, ayo, this is kind of weird. Like, seeing that. I was a kid seeing that and thinking it was weird. What state? Florida. The lovely right wing, the Florida, where woke goes to die. These people will let unironic child sexualization and child abuse fly by. I mean, hell, look at Andrew Tate literally being an admitted sex trafficker, and they're fine with it. It is not about protecting kids or being a good person or fighting for good. It's about turning everything that happens that can possibly be twisted to make insert minority group look bad. It's about doing whatever they have to. It's why, like, recently there was, like, a horrific story that came out where a gay couple that had, like, adopted a kid had, like, I think killed the kid or, like, molested, like, something bad had happened. I don't remember the whole story, but, like, it was really horrific, and I saw a bunch of conservative accounts were trying to use this story as evidence that, like, we shouldn't allow gay people to adopt because this is what happens, you shouldn't be surprised. And it's like, this happens nonstop with straight couples adopting and abusing kids. The entire adoption industry, whatever, is riddled with child abuse, and it happens with straight couples nonstop. But, like, it happens to one prominent gay couple, and it's like, see, this is why gay people shouldn't be allowed to have kids. They're all a danger to kids. Might want to do something about them being a danger to all kids, you know? Like, there is no logical conclusion to come to when you push that rhetoric other than we gotta do something about these pedos, right? It's all projection. It's all self-reporting. When conservatives come out of the woodwork to just call trans people and LGBT people pedos, you know they're self-reporting, because they're just materializing it from somewhere, and that somewhere is inside them, okay? A lot of the time. Anyway, with all that said, if you enjoyed this video, you enjoyed this segment, please consider leaving a like, subscribe to my channel, and turn on all notifications so YouTube tells you when I go live or upload a new video. Comment down below as well. It really helps me out a lot more than I think you guys realize. And of course, if you want to see more from me on other platforms, you can follow my social medias, linked down below in the description, including my Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, fan Discord, and my Patreon. You can also, well, yeah, that's everything. Thank you so much for watching, and have a good one.